If you think prescription drug abuse among teens is just a big city problem, think again. In La Crosse County, 1 out of 6 high school students say they have tried a prescription drug without a doctor's prescription. And the community's lack of knowledge about prescription drug abuse is a major challenge in the fight to stop this trend. Lisa Klein has a story in a News 8 investigative report, Prescription for Problems.
Mike, most people don't know teen prescription drug abuse is happening in our community right now. Prescription painkillers are the most widely abused drug. However, there is another type of prescription drug that's being abused for a reason other than getting high. And these drugs are being used by students who are known as overachievers. Ritalin and Adderall. These prescription drugs are used by some ADHD patients. However, they're also being used by teens trying to compete in today's high-pressure society.
What we're hearing is that they're taking them maybe to help them study. It gives them the energy to do that. If it's not prescribed to them, they're getting that feeling that they can maybe perform better academically if they're taking them.
But the use of ADHD drugs without a prescription is not talked about much among area high school students.
This is something that is obviously very under the rug, undercover, something that's not very well known by people.
Brianna will be a senior at Holman High School in the fall. She says while ADHD drug abuse is not happening among her group of friends, she has heard students discuss the topic.
It is something that is talked about, and you do hear stories of students using it before class to boost their performance on tests.
It's kids that maybe you wouldn't think would be involved with something like that are doing it. Kids that are maybe stressed out about grades, that are trying to achieve that high grade level to, get into a certain college.
Mental health therapist Brett Knutson says determining if your child is abusing an ADHD drug or any prescription starts by noticing changes in behavior.
You're going to know your kid. You're going to know if they're more edgy, if they're more depressed, if there is a significant shift in mood up or down. You're going to be able to see those things as a parent, so just pay attention.
And then Knutson says, start asking your teen questions about his or her behavior, because acknowledging prescription drug abuse is the first step in stopping the trend.
I think the parents need to know that this is a problem and not have the perception that, well, my kid's a good kid, they wouldn't do something like that.
It is important to note that Brianna's comments are an example of what's happening at all high schools throughout La Crosse County. Now, both the patrol sergeant and the mental health therapist say it's also a good idea to distribute prescription drugs to your child, even if they are older. And also, it's important to keep track of how many pills are actually in your prescription bottles, because when they take 1 or 2, you're not going to know. So it's keeping a count on those prescriptions is also really important.
Yeah, some good advice. And obviously, kids these days are under so much pressure, too, which I'm sure plays into the factor that more and more are abusing these drugs.
Wanting to focus, yeah.
All right, well, coming up tomorrow at 6, we'll tell you about a new movie being produced about prescription drug abuse starring La Crosse high school students.